Back, everyone. We are into our final segment of today's show. I want to start with you, Cherie, and just ask you about your vision for the program.
Well, ultimately, the goal is to go national. As I said before, and I always say, it's not about because it's my program, it's because this program is needed across the nation. So we are slowly taking those steps in that direction with UNLV volunteering to do the program overview, which is going to assist us. And so, across the country, children are experiencing the same things that we're experiencing here in Nevada, and so it's not something that's just happening in one state.
Right.
And with the volunteering of people like Lori and Eric, and
very fine members.
Yes, giving their time to us and sharing their testimonies. We want to continue to do that, not just here, because it's not just needed here. We need to go across state lines.
And you're hoping, how do you see yourself doing that? How do you see eventually where the program's going to evolve to be able to go nationally? What kind of plan do you have mapped out for that?
Well, one is working on a business plan, and secondly is to continue to create evidence-based information, and that's why we have the studies in the program. That's why UNLV is doing their program overview, and that is why I continue to keep contacts throughout the states. I call this our pilot program because this is not where it's going to end. Mm-hmm. And creating data, allowing people to see the successes from the kids that come through the program, and also this is not just about the children, but obviously my focus is creating, strong leaders in the community, but it's also about Eric and Lori, and people who come to the program and want to become those members, because through success, and I always tell people, you're only as good as you surround yourself, the people you surround yourself with.
Right.
And so as I excel within the program, they excel within the community, and they continue to inspire the kids to do well, even though they've had their mishaps, but their mishaps were for a reason. And so now they come back and they give back to the kids. And so with this program evolving and having people like Melissa, having people like Eric and Lori, and all the other members on board with me, that's just a testament of where we are today. And as far as the recidivism rate within the members is phenomenal.
How would you like to use the prison system to further the program in the future?
Yes, that is something definitely on the forefront. It's not something I'm really pursuing right now because of the lack of bodies that I have in my program. But I would eventually like to tap into the system more so. Number one, to try and recruit more members as far as getting into their reentry program and allowing them to hear what Real Talk is all about, and getting them as soon as they hit the streets, because the thing is, sometimes the prisoners are set up for failure. There's no actual, once you step out of prison, okay, I'm here, but what do I do next? They have some of the reentry programs available, but not enough, and
right.
That's why a lot of the gentlemen and ladies, they end up falling back into the system because they're not set up to progress. So getting them involved in something very quickly, and it's positive, it will allow them to see that, I do matter. I
right.
do have something to give back to the community. And then also the next phase in the system is talking to the lifers. Mm-hmm. That's down the line, and something that we're working on right now.
Okay. But, with that growth of the program, how do you see their roles changing within the program? So I know that they come from diverse backgrounds, sure. have multiple talents. So how do you see using your members in the future?
I don't think a lot of the members realize that they're going to be used in a quite different platform as we continue to grow, and I believe that this program is going to go national. But there's a lot of different arenas. I have a lot of talented members on my team, very giving people, get the vision and understand it. And Eric's one of them, as well as Lori. You shared that she donated $500. Eric donates chips to our program every month.
Nice.
So from his business. And then there's other people, of course. I'm not. There's so many members that do a lot above and beyond of what they're required to do as far as the $50 donation. But my ultimate goal is to use them as the spokesperson when we go across state lines, to send Eric to Oregon and talk to whatever facility that is involved or wants to use Real Talk. Send Lori to New York and mm-hmm. say, I'm representing Real Talk to share, this is how we do it. This is the actual basis of Real Talk. So yes, they're going to have some different positions available for them to be the spokesperson for Real Talk, because I believe in them as they believe in our vision. And we've had some really good speakers. Some come and go. Life happens and they have to switch out.
Give our viewers an example of who some of your guest speakers have been. What walks of life do they come from?
All walks of life. In March, we had the president of the WIN that came out and spoke at the program. We've had attorneys. We've had judges, federal judges, and some of those judges are judges that have sentenced some of our members in the program. We have had auto mechanics who own their own body shops. Just a plethora of other individuals in the community that are willing to come and speak on behalf of how they evolved and giving themselves to the children and letting them know that just because you come from this background doesn't mean you can still become the attorney, the doctor, the lawyers, because some of their backgrounds have been colorful, but they've never been arrested. They just, it could have been that split decision where they ended up in the system, but they chose the other route, and here they are, professionals in the community.
Eric, what would you like to see added to the program?
Well, I think the most important thing that we can do soon, which we probably will have the resources to do, is to have a youth group where we'll be able to talk with the youth and get some feedback directly, and then we can it would be within a controlled forum, of course, and have several members. Right now it's tough because we don't always have enough members to man the parent group and have a group like that, and then speakers too, and an MC. So it's stretched too thin, but if we had enough people, we could probably run something like that.
Okay, and Ray, what are your thoughts on that?
I would love to, kids look up to celebrities, and I would actually love to get celebrities. So if you hear me and you see this, or somebody share it with your friends, bring some people who will inspire them, talk to them, show them, giving back. Sometimes, yes, we can always give money, and I understand we're all really busy people, but sometimes just pick a charity that you decide you want, even once a year, just come and spend some time. And maybe, I know Cherie, we're always struggling with, we need funds, we need so much. Help us put together, something where, you could be that center of attention we need. So we have the celebrities here in Vegas, you all are here. So help us, help ourselves, and help us help the community become a better place. Because these are our future.
And in what ways does the program need assistance? We know you need the funds, but what other ways is the program in need of assistance right now?
Well, as usual, funds are the pinnacle of operating the program. In order for us to grow, we need funds. And, always welcoming volunteers. We could use volunteers on a monthly basis just to help with overall operations as far as that once a month program. And then we're eventually going to tap into the mentoring program too, not from this member side, but career mentoring program. So anyone that is out there that is interested in giving back their time, their talents, their treasures, we welcome them, because we meaning me, myself, and I, as far as keeping the overall business point of it, it's strenuous because there's other things that have to be taken into consideration too when you're operating the whole program. So these guys and gals, they come and they speak, and this is great, and they donate their money and their time once a month, but between that time frame of that one day of month and the 30 days that are left, or 29 days are left in the month, it's a lot of legwork that happens behind the scenes. And so I'm always looking for volunteers, but I believe wholeheartedly that funding is going to help stretch out and basically expand where we are in order to get to that primary vision, which is to go across state line.
I want to talk about these acronyms that you were using when you were addressing the kids with the suicide. What were those acronyms? Why were you kind of flipping those words and telling them to kind of flip the words for a new meaning? You said that the kids hear these words very frequently, but talk about what you were trying to do.
When you speak negativity into someone or something, or feed into that, you really start believing that that's who you are, because that's all you hear. So as parents, you're speaking, you're cursing at your kids, you're talking them dumb, you're telling them stupid, they'll never accomplish anything, they'll never be anything. Why on God's green earth would they want to be anything when you are the person that actually are supposed to be raising them to understand that they can be anything they want, that they can achieve things? So if they're hearing it from the parents and then they're also hearing it from the outside, well, what happens? They start believing that. And, well, you already told me I'm not going to be anything. So, it's unfortunate that parents do that. But, the idea for me, if they're hearing the negativity, I don't care who it's coming from. They need to understand you are in charge of how you receive that. So I can take it and say, oh, I guess I'm going to be, or I can say, no, I'm not going to be. But you're just like gambling, and a child, they don't have coping skills. So their first reaction is, okay, well, I guess I am going to be. So if somebody's not telling that it's a positive thing, if you take it, you understand it, flip it. dumb. I mean, it's a common word that's used when people are talking to their kids and get upset, or even teachers sometimes call kids dumb, which is ridiculous. But flip it, so you change it around, then you start believing what you now hear, which is good, coming from bad. So dumb, don't underestimate my boldness. If you're going to be that doctor, if they say you're stupid, you're dumb, you'll never evolve, guess what? Be dumb.
Did
But
you have
be
a,
dumb
do
in
you
this
have a
way.
psychology degree too?
No. You know what I have? I have a doctorate of the street psychology in certain aspects, and a doctorate of family life, a doctorate of professional life, dealing with, the youth parole department, dealing with, the federal probation department, because a lot of the things that I've learned through my transitions in life is all poured out to these kids.
Even better.
Absolutely.
We are out of time today. Thanks for staying with us. Please remember to tune in and watch us the second Monday of every month, 1 p.m., Real Talk. And thanks to my panel of guests who are here today. I appreciate your time.
Thank you,
you.
Melissa.
Thank you.
You're welcome.